Good evening. My name is Melanie DuPont. I live in Smithfield, Rhode Island, and I am going to read from the diary of Irish woman Claire Cullen del Sol. These are the extracts from her diary that she kept during her third pregnancy. 13 August 2015. It's a beautiful sunny day. I tear home from work to pick up Wayne, my mom, and the kids before heading to Waterford Hospital for my scan. The midwife brings me into the room alone, first to check the basics before bringing everyone else in. We make small talk for what seems like ages before I ask, offhandedly, if everything looks all right. No, she responds matter-of-factly. There are a few things I actually need to look at. After a few minutes, she starts to gently and calmly point out huge cysts on the placenta, missing bones in the baby's face, and issues with brain development. We move into another room with a better machine, and I ask her to fetch my husband. My mom brings the kids to the hospital cafe while we wait for the second scan. Wayne grips my hands as we sit in silence. As the midwife scans me, I study her face for a flicker of a smile or relief. There's none. She points out more things: bilateral clefts, overlapping digits, underdeveloped cerebellum, placental cysts, no observable stomach, kidney issues, and spots on the baby's heart. I listen in terror with tears running down my face. Eventually, it finishes, and we leave with a referral to a fetal medicine specialist at Hollis Street Hospital. We walk back out into the sunshine. I'm shivering. At home, I Googled chromosomal disorders. Rarely results in live births, I read. High mortality in first month. Few infants survive first year. Incompatible with life. Fatal. I want to die. I want to curl into a ball and be swallowed by the earth. My whole world is changed. Nothing feels real anymore. I don't know how to deal with this. My little person may not make it to this world, and we may lose a child. I don't know how to cope or live with this. I want to keep this baby safe forever. 15 August 2015. It's the day of our appointment at Hollis Street. The past few days have been a blur of tears, anger, no sleep, and no showers. At the hospital, the doctor is forthright and matter-of-fact. He agrees with some of the midwife's first findings: the stomach, the cysts, the extent of the cleft lip. He reserves judgment on whether it's a chromosome disorder. I have an amniocentesis, and we go home to wait. I cling to hope. 21 August 2015. Very long, stressful day. We're expecting the amniocentesis results to be back by now, but no one calls. At 4 p.m., I start calling the midwife at the hospital. No news. We'll have to wait until Monday. I'm gutted. I'm so wrecked from it all now. I'm exhausted from not sleeping, and I'm starting to see the pressure on Wayne's face, too. It's going to be a tough weekend. 23 August 2015. I'm sick of people telling me to stay positive or rub my bump. Feels so angry. Keep lashing out. 24 August 2015. I wake up positive and hopeful, even though I slept very little. I shower and even put on makeup. I distract myself by going shopping. At 3 p.m., I finally call the midwife. She calls back at 4:20 p.m. It's not good. The baby has Patau syndrome, meaning that it has 3 copies of chromosome 13 in every cell in her body. It's not compatible with life and normal development in utero. The baby won't survive. My whole life falls down around me. I grab Wayne's hand as he collapses. His head is in his hands. He's devastated. I feel my heart stop and my stomach drops. Cold dread seems to pour down my back, and I cry immediately. After I've cried all I can, we sit there in stunned silence. We start to let people know. I can't bear to hear my mom's voice as she hears her granddaughter will die, so Wayne calls her. I hear her heartbroken gasp over the phone, and I'm crushed again. I text my brother. I can't bear to speak to anyone. All of a sudden, it hits me again. I can't describe it. The pain and the grief are so complete, it feels like a lead weight. I literally try to push it off me. It feels physical. I'm howling like an animal. No, I scream. I'm clutching Wayne's shirt, begging. Eventually, the howling pain passes to stillness. We hold each other for a little longer, then begin to prepare for the kids coming home. When they get back, we put our game faces on. 25 August 2015. In the car, driving to Dublin, we eat breakfast rolls and make conversation. Wayne and I hold hands. The doctor very clearly and patiently explains the syndrome, its outcome, and our options. The baby will not live. It is unlikely to be born alive or survive beyond a few hours if she is. We can expect a late miscarriage or stillborn baby, or if the pregnancy goes to term, I'll deliver a baby who will die in labor or soon after. There can be no early intervention. Any action to bring on labor will be considered a termination and is illegal under Ireland's 8th Amendment, which prohibits abortion in all circumstances except to save a mother's life. The doctor doesn't mention the option of traveling abroad for termination until I ask. He tells me that the hospital is aware of a high standard of care at Liverpool Women's Hospital, but they can't refer me there. They can pass on information if I request it. No Irish medical professional can help me book a termination or arrange an appointment there. I have to arrange everything myself. I'm so angry. I'm only 22 weeks pregnant. I'm going to have to stay pregnant for at least another 15 or 16 weeks. I'm going to have to deliver and then lose my child. In the meantime, I'm going to have to go to work, drop the kids off at school, and deal with all the attention pregnant women get. When are you due? People will ask me. I can't cope with that. But how can I go to Liverpool for up to a week, leave my kids with family and friends, go to Liverpool, deliver a dead baby, say goodbye to her, and then get back on a plane to wait for her ashes to arrive in the post? I don't want to terminate her. I want to deliver her. I want to hold her and say goodbye to her in my own time, not rush for a flight. I want my kids, parents, and brother to meet her and hold her. I want my own bed. I want a funeral, not ashes delivered by a courier. Her life means more than that, but so does mine. How can her rights and mine be equal under Irish law? She never had a chance at living. Every cell in her body had a tiny catastrophic flaw, and she could never have survived outside my body. I'm a grown woman. I have children, a husband, friends, a job. How is all of that somehow equal to a hopeless heartbeat in a dying body? 26 August 2015. Today I had to tell my daughter Carla that her baby sister would die. It was the hardest moment of my life. Her face crumples up, and she asks if there's any hope. She wants to believe, but I can't let her hold false hope. I look her in the eye and I say, no, the baby will die. There's nothing we can do to help her. As cruel as it was, that's the kindest option I have available. She sobs her heart out. I'd have done anything not to have to put her through that. I have another appointment at the hospital. The midwife looks me in the eyes and tells me how sorry she is. The doctor comes in and tells me that there's no good medical reason to keep me pregnant, but there's no other option. He's sorry. He does another scan and prints enough copies for everyone in the family to have one. I'm in town later that day buying school books and uniforms when I have another public breakdown. I know then that I'll never be able to cope with traveling to Liverpool. I can barely do the school run. I can't face going to the supermarket. Even if we had the money for the flights and the procedure, I wouldn't be able to handle the airports, buses, and hospital. The thought of it all makes me shake with fear. I'll have to wait. 10 September 2015. I've been having nightmares about labor and birth for days. I wake up crying. Tonight, I lie awake all night. I can't feel the baby move, nothing. At about 6 a.m., I feel her wiggle. I cry with relief and fear. 11 September 2015. Another late night. I stay awake Googling induction after death of baby and preparing for a stillbirth, labor with a dead baby. What would my baby look like? Would I be able to hold her, kiss her? How many more nights do I have to suffer wondering if she's dead? 12 September 2015. Wayne is at work when my mom rings. I've been crying at home at the kitchen table. I'm on my way, my mom says when she hears my voice. By the time she arrives, I'm on the floor. I can't pull it together. The kids are trying to comfort me, but I'm panicking. Why won't they help you, my mom asks when she sees me. They can't just leave you like this. Do they really let mothers crack up for the sake of a baby that won't live? Yes, they do. They are. 15 September 2015. I watch a debate on the 8th Amendment. I send the speakers a message saying I wish I'd been able to testify. One of them messages me back. How am I, she asks. Am I getting help? Can she support me? Am I receiving counseling? I realized I was reaching out for help when I sent that message. I'm desperately yearning for someone to understand. 17 September 2015. I meet the midwife. She tells me I'll know when the baby's dead. She explains what the induction will be like, what pain relief is available to me. We talk about coffins, baby clothes, the tablets to stop my milk from flowing. Whether I want the baby buried or cremated, my little girl. 21 September 2015. Carla feels the baby kicking for the first time. It's her first proper kick in weeks. 23 September 2015. She's gone. Did she suffer? Was it quick or slow? Did the cysts on the placenta starve her of nutrients and oxygen? Was the buildup of fluid around her heart too much pressure? Did the genetic blip mean her development couldn't continue beyond that point? 25 September 2015. Alex Patricia Cullen del Sol was born on 25 September 2015. She was 1 pound, 10 ounces. She was beautiful, perfect, broken, and still, completely still. 15 October 2015. I'm struggling to adapt to normal life. I'm comfortable at home, too comfortable. I start cooking and cleaning to make up for what a terrible mom I've been to the kids. I avoid people, daylight, and exercise. 4 November 2015. Today I tweeted the Irish Prime Minister and to Kenny. First period since my stillborn baby, I write. I carried her for 6 weeks after her diagnosis, losing my mind with grief. Repeal the 8th. I want to prevent other families suffering like us. A journalist gets in touch with me, and I share my story. We both cry. She writes an amazing story. I'm invited to meet with the Minister for Employment Affairs and Social Protection to share my story. Can I manage a trip to Dublin? I can try. 9 September 2015. I sit in a room with the minister and talk for 20 minutes solidly. She cries with me about Alex. I see the power of my story. I feel less hopeless, less insignificant. Someone is finally listening and agreeing that what I experienced was wrong, that I didn't deserve it, and neither does anyone else, and it needs to change. So we know what happened in Ireland. They just voted to repeal their 8th Amendment so that stories like that stop being told. And I hope that we're wise enough to do the same thing by bringing Senate Bill 2163 to the House, to the Senate floor for a vote.
Thank you.